What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. We are back in the Rocky Desert, continuing our prep work. So far, we've got our iron factory, copper factory, and small steel factory. That is this building here. That is just about ready to be built out. We got some machines already going in there. And that's just getting sunk right now. And we built this little train station over here to bring in some coal. So, finishing this off, finishing that building off. Should get us a good start for this evening. Should get us a good start. So we got 3 things of coal coming in. There's 2 miners underneath this building, bringing in that coal, and then built a little tunnel here for that train to just kind of roll on through. We're gonna have to clean this up a little bit on the backside here, just to make everything look well. We'll go ahead and get started on that. And that way we can finish this project off and move on to the next thing. Just going to be expanding out more train stations and things to get ready for our nuclear build. Pretty excited about. No idea where it's going yet, but it's gonna go somewhere with my main factory over here, the Rocky Desert somewhere, which poses some challenges, but overall should be pretty good. Just make sure that's not clipping through. Everything should be on track here. Those clip through a little bit. I think I'm okay with it for now. Hot bar here. And just keep building this up. Get about it real quick. Go ahead and get out my calculator real fast. And make sure Alright, I think I've got everything I need. Got a couple of more resources that I have to snag out of the area over here. So it'll be a couple more trains, smaller train stations. Just grabbing sulfur, and I need sulfur, quartz, and of course uranium. Uranium I've already, let's say I prepped for it, but I've already found a location and put a drone port over there, so kind of got that, I don't want to say figured out, but it's there. It's out there already, so we'll most likely use that in some capacity. okay with a little bit of clip there. You're gonna not in love with this train station at the moment. Trying to get through it. Not my favorite build, but a necessary one to get done. To get on to bigger and better things in this particular world. We got one more window to build out here. Oops. Ran off the screen there a little bit. Alright, should be good now. This one should be able to go in here. Keep working this. Keep working the pillars here. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. For this, and then we just add these in, and that window's done. Just recoloring it real fast. I think that's all right, and then maybe we'll put something up in this spot here. It'd be cool if I could just put one big billboard in there. And then we'll divvy it up so that it's not crazy bright. It likes bright, maybe. Similar to what I did on the other building, or on the other side of this building. Loving that right now. Go ahead and get rid of that. So it's not shining in my eyes when I'm trying to build. These things are so bright they can be blinding at times. It's annoying that they don't actually put out light. But blinding when you're up close to them. Alright. On the last one, I was kind of in this area here. Which that's got to get cleaned up. That cannot stay like that. Go ahead and put this one up. Have a reference point. I want to say the other one's here. Oh, maybe not. One more. Alright, so what we're going to do is put it in the middle. trying some different things here to see what's gonna work. I definitely want it to be smaller, I think, than. Something like that, maybe. Could live with that. I got this big wall over here I need to do something with. I can't leave it. I can't leave it as is. It's just too. It's too bland. So maybe we'll do 4. I'm pretty sure that's the size of a large billboard, right? If I did 2 like this. And then we did 4 more here. Where does that put me? 4. And then another 4. That should be correct. That should be getting me what I want. There's some walls up in here so I can attach those billboards easily. Not too much hassle. And we'll build something out here. What? I do not know yet. Off a little bit. Alright. I'm thinking I could probably do some crazy stuff with walls, maybe. I've done some stuff like this in the past. And on a pillar, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Put it there. It's not gonna cut it off. It indeed is. So, start with this. Give myself a snapping point. And then we can work from there. I'm thinking maybe, really kind of thinking like some kind of arrow design where the arrows are kind of facing both sides, and then in the middle we do something different. A lot of LED. And then maybe on this side we do opposite. Possibly. For some reason you're not letting me snap on top of this one. Odd. Okay. That's annoying. I can live with that. Okay, let me do it again, huh? Weird that one side's fine and the other side doesn't work. Always weird how stuff like that works in this game. Alright, I think that covers that wall up a little bit better than it did. Since we have windows on all the other sides, we needed something. I'm not convinced that this isn't going to be closed off. Like so. Since right now it is a one-way train. Look happy there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it just like that for now. We'll have to get this power connected up the right way to make these lights work. I just kind of threw them in there just to make sure that it was the way I wanted it. I actually think I'm gonna make the floors coated concrete. And these pillars. Good reflections going on here. I totally forgot I could even paint. New pieces that I haven't really used a whole lot of these round ones. I think it fits here though. Just wonder if it might look better if it was black. What are these gonna look like when they're black? Terrible. I'll come back and get those pillars in a minute. I'd rather overcolor than miss something. About everything. Over. Color. Lots of coloring going on. 4 tiles here. Yeah. Got that pillar. This one. All right. Looking pretty good. Go ahead and recolor these guys. And train station complete for now. We need anything else on it? We need to recolor the top here. Get rid of that lonely guy. I don't know what he's doing there. If I start redesigning buildings, this will probably be one of the first ones I redo. But it's not terrible. I can live with it. Alright, so I need to get these quartz. I need to get sulfur from over here. And I need to get critanium from up in the woods here somewhere. There's a critanium node near me. There's 2 critanium nodes up here in the woods. Should be right. There's one. Oh, there's the other one. Hiding under rocks. Other troll. So we'll bring these down. Probably to this. Looking at a little train station here might not be terrible. I don't necessarily know I want to build a factory right here. Although I could. I'm gonna need critanium ingots production somewhere. I could transfer all this stuff back and build another building in this complex. An option. I think I'm just about out of water though. I would need to add more piping. I guess I could build it on the back side of this one. Bring its own water supply in. Wish I had some critanium a little closer than that. We did add lights in here, right? Yeah, we did. So I've got all these gopher holes in the walls here. Get those covered up. Apparently my ADD struck and I didn't even notice. Guess that's part of having ADD, you don't notice. Just all of a sudden realize, oh, I left this entire project like halfway done. All the holes right. Okay. Now we'll just fill them in. Cover up that electrical that I got going there through there. Because I got, well, the idea was I was gonna have concrete over here as well. I mean, I guess I got this walkway here. I could put concrete and titanium here on this hill. Also got up there. Got a couple more iron nodes, another concrete node. There's another one hiding out back there. Got a bunch of concrete right here. And I know there's a bunch of concrete over there as well that I could pull in. But I don't need concrete for nuclear right now. So I need to stay on task. My task was to build a train station over here to start traversing things in. Now I could build a titanium factory on this water right here. Might not be a terrible spot. I felt like there was more titanium up on one of these bridges somewhere. I swore there was more titanium around here than that. Got a couple of geysers. Let's put down a radar tower real quick and just see what's what before I fall through the earth. See who's who in the zoo here. There's another titanium node right there. I think it was around here somewhere. Another limestone node there. More quartz up here as well. I did not know that. Oh, it must be in a cave or something. Don't see it out and about. I don't see you. It's gotta be in a cave. There must be a cave entrance somewhere around here that I am just totally not finding. Well, there's something crawling around down there. Through here. Not a cave. Homing ammo is so not fair. For them, not for me. Totally fair for me. But I don't see these quartz nodes anywhere. Let's zoom down through here. I see there's a big cave under here. Where does said cave come out? What else is down here? Sand ore. Don't need that for anything. Pick up no item in foliage. I just picked up no item. I don't even know what that is. It's weird. Creeping out. Where does this thing come out at? A lot of gas. It's a very long hole. A whole lot of rock in here. Okay, so you're coming out along. That's not close. I mean, it's not far away, but it's not close either. I wonder if there's another exit. Just stay right there, buddy. Good. Alright, let's go find, oops, on the other end. Could get a train down in here. Train would be a viable option to grab that. It's just a normal node. It's not even pure or anything. Kinda a long walk for a normal node. Probably where the other one is. Somewhere down here. It would definitely be one heck of a tunnel. And of course you come out right next to my train station. Beantown, USA over here. Everybody just hanging out. Alright. Let's put the finishing touches on this little guy. This rest of this building just done. Taken care of. Let's put his edge on. Clean it up a little bit. Continue the prep for the nuclear build. Oh, excuse me. That's good. Keep this around here. Alright. Good for now. I don't want that to be quite that high. It needs to be 3 up. Like that, so that I can put a 2-meter ramp in. Same thing on this side. Yep. 2-meter ramp. And then, we'll sign in. As I've been doing for all these little inputs. And then that's pretty good. Run, Bean. Away from me. Away from my base. Alright. Little train station is just about done. I'm just nitpicking stuff now. Just nitpicking the last couple of things here that I have to finish it off and be done with it. remember if I put the edge up around those or not. I kind of feel like I did. Alright. Oops. Up there. That one's already gone. Don't need that. Can't stop yawning tonight for some reason. Alright. Seems like every time I get on stream, I get a case of the yawn. Alright, so that's good. We still have all these supports to build, which is going to take some time for sure. We need to figure out where the next build's going. And I'm thinking it's going to go right in here. Bring some water in from down there. Bring it up over here. Train station can kind of live. I don't really want it to live off of that line though. That's what I was trying to avoid. I got limestone there. Limestone there. I got a lot of limestone in this area. If I was to do wet concrete, I mean, even over here by the waterfall, there's 2 or 3 more nodes right there. So we got a lot of limestone in this area. But I think I'm going to build in this little corner or cubby here. And I know it's going to be bigger than I expect it to be. I'm kind of planning. I don't want it to be up against this. I don't want it to be up against this building. But I also want it to be connected with this little walkway here, so what's going on here? This business. I could cross this over. And this sink won't be here. This is just a dummy for right now. Just checking the steel production to make sure everything's gonna flow nicely. I feel like I need something in here. I feel like it needs missing something. Every time I stream. Case of the yawns. Happens every time. I think I'm gonna put some. Maybe an LED strip or 2 in here. Kind of liven it up a little bit. I think that's alright. We probably could put a window in here as well. Wouldn't kill us to have another window. I think I run it all the way to the top. If I can. Oof, not there. Not there. Which this is gonna just tick me off, I just know it. Alright, so I need literally a half foundation. So, literally a half of a half. That one in there. And then if I can put this one in here, we should be able to put our window right on that line. And that's good. Close off. Alright. There should be an 8 wide openings. We want 4 on that side, 4 on this side, 4 there, 4 in the middle, and then up here on the top. And that completes that window. A little window into that room. Have to go from 2 from there. Just see where this opens up at. Perfect. This one, I think, just for sake of keeping it symmetric, has more half of half foundation. Very effective. Alright, so those, now that those are in, these should just lay in here like so. Yada yada yada. Beam all these up. Be good to go on this one as well. Be good to go on this side as well. Oh, excuse me. And then let's color all these black. I think that looks pretty good. I really wish I would have done something similar here. Like regretting my decisions to not pillar this in right. Okay, this is gonna look very funky. Do it this way. But I'm gonna try it just to ensure to myself that my intuition is correct. Doesn't look that terrible. I don't like that it's sticking out. Just kind of add a little bit of depth, which I'm kind of lacking. Sort of. It's not terrible. I think it's better. Better than it was. We'll leave that for now. Train's gonna come bebopping in there at some point. And here it comes. I just want to take a look at what that's gonna look like when it's rolling in. And here it comes. Do-do-do-do. Cool how the lights kind of faded up like that. Alright, so if we build the other one over here, we're going to need some elevation. So maybe it's the train station that goes in the lower half of this rock. And we just bring it down the water and connect it up over here somewhere. Not a terrible idea. We'll bring it down this rocky area and connect it up down there. I think that could work. Before I start demolishing stuff, let's move this over here. Let's see what this is gonna look like. Where is this gonna hit at? Right, so I'm gonna hit about right there because I want to keep the walkway of these buildings at similar heights, I think. Kind of what I'm thinking. So this would be like the start of my building here. I gotta color those floors too. So this would be the start of the building. And I have a pure Curtanium node right over here. Somewhere. I lost it. Where is it? There. This one should be fairly easy to capture. To capture that, I just bring it straight across, boom, into there, and it's done. I don't think that one's that difficult. I also don't think I have any other pure nodes that are tapped right now. Don't exactly know what the production rate is. I want to say it's like 780 or 1200. I can go to 1200, but my belt can only support 780. So I'm kind of limited. 780. Because even if I did 1200, still has a single belt coming out, so there's nothing I can really do about that. Alright, so let's put this on grid. This is on grid. And then let's see how this is gonna sit. And that'll kind of tell me where I need to put my stuff. I think this is probably the best way. Might actually leave that one in there. I come off this way, which I don't think I want to do because this is where Might have a limestone train going that way. I'm gonna put it on this back half here. Well, let's just find a good height to build this train station. Not terrible. Good work. A little bit of grass sticking through there, but that should be big enough, right? We come back to transport into trains. Now we want to put that one here. It's not going to need to be a very large train station because it's only got one node. I don't think there's any other, nothing really around it. But we could probably back this up a little bit. Have it come straight in. Not a terrible idea. More trees to go down here. Alright, so the train comes in over here. On this point. There. This should really be it. There really shouldn't be a whole lot of anything else. One train. That's gonna bring in an outworm. So that means this needs to be a lift. And it's not going to be very exciting because it's only one item. I really hope I can get a box in here. Please let me get a box in here. The boxes. And then just kind of loop this around into there. And that way this kind of built into the wall. So there, and then from there in. And out, we're gonna have 1 and 2. And I might have to change this around a little bit. Just so I can make this come out evenly on the center of a wall. Like so. And then this would basically just come out of there, turn. Perfect. Game just knew what I was trying to do there. I really don't need this particular square. I could do some kind of 45 there, but I don't think I want to do that either. I'll leave it alone. What if I put a... God, I don't know if that'll work. I'm thinking I want to put a 2-meter ramp here. Which is going to lower this guy. I think. And therefore it shall be. Now you're going to come down and just connect onto there. Fine. Alright. Now the walls. Oh, inside train station or outside? That's always the question. Do I do it inside or do I take it and leave it outside? If I cover this up, maybe I'll leave it like that, and then we'll cover this one up as well. And then we've got our nice little, well, it is really little, right? Kind of the point. So it'll queue up into there, get on the train, jet it out to the ore processing facility there. We'll be good to go. And we'll just one of these has to be open, right? You big dummy. And it's not centered either. How did I mess that up? That is no bueno. Can't be having uncentered stuff here. They're going backwards. It's going to be a long day. Train station in the middle. Let's go to this. And then I'll put our freight platform in this way. Now I'm gonna have to tinker a little bit to make this work again. Get it in there as fast as I can, and then What if I hit it in the center there? Bring this down. I can live with that little edge clipping, because we're not really going to come out here very often. Just drop it. It's not super important part of the build, but it kind of is too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Without Critanium, I can't make Quickwire. Without Quickwire, I can't make my nuclear build. This one to the end, and then we'll turn it in. And out. Alright. That's done. How do I want to handle this situation? I think we put the wall there. Wall. Wall this in. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm sorry, man. How you doing, Duke? Didn't even realize, man. I haven't had anybody in here, so. I've literally been sitting here talking to myself. It's not even gonna show up on my VOD. That's awesome. You should be able to hear me now. I was just saying that I added on this walkway, and then I've got this Criterium node that's out here that I'm snagging. So that's going to be a small little train station there. And I built this little mess of a factory here, which is just grabbing this coal for that steel production. So grabbing some of that coal, we're dragging it back into the steel production facility here. So that's what this is in here. And I left plenty of room to expand that. So the idea is that this building will eventually be out here or out in this area somewhere. And now I'm getting ready to put in a Criterium and wet concrete facility. So that's going to sit probably back in this area somewhere. Because I got a lot of limestone right in this area. Got a couple of limestone nodes over here that I'll probably snag as well. There's one back there, and there's another one I think over here. So I'll probably drag those across as well. Yeah, I added some lights in as well. I just kind of worked on finishing up and cleaning up some of these builds and tunnels and stuff that we worked on last night. I still love this wall. It's my favorite thing of the whole build. It came out great. Out of all the stuff that I built, this wall is my favorite. Crazy. I do like the walkway too. It kind of adds a little bit of, kind of feel like you're in a building. In like a big complex of some kind. Kind of windows into the offices. Yep, so this walkway will get extended over here. And then I'm kind of trying to figure out how this how this building and stuff is going to inlay in here. I think the train station is going to be kind of down in this area. I'm thinking. So the train's going to kind of run. It's either going to be down there and it's going to run the water, or it's going to be up here and run this mountain back to the main line. Coal train. I'm trying to avoid getting into this guy too much. I already got a mess of junctions and stuff, so trying to get some really crazy junctions going here. And this one actually needs to come out while I'm thinking about it. Obviously I had that train station angled differently when I built this. Actually clean this up quite a bit. Alright, so we're going from there to there, that's good, and from here to there, that's good. What you been up to, Duke? You said you've been on a lot of work conference calls, just hanging out on Twitch. rock is really pissing me off. I should have like moved this whole thing back. Not like I didn't have room. I might still do that actually. Yeah, I know how that goes. I don't know where my nuclear build's gonna go, but I'm thinking it's gonna go... It kinda needs to be near the water. Kinda thinking maybe this area somewhere in here might be a great spot for it. It's gonna have quite a few buildings. Because I'm gonna have a building to produce. And I've totally lost my spot on my, basically it's gonna have 4 or 5 different factories that are gonna be interfeeding one another. Yeah, I haven't even done any of that, but I've got plenty of resources. I mean, my iron ingot factory is just kicking along down here. Down here in the guts. I mean, it's a stack full. And that's with it sinking, oh, what is that, 1,400 items a minute? It's just sinking every little bit that it can right now. And that's actually after I removed an entire row. So this row was coming down here. Actually, I need to reconnect that because I did it up here. Well, I'm thinking about that. Almost totally messed that up. Someone's coming down in here. So the only box that's really not functional is this one, but it's gonna get filled up anyways, even if I take all these out. It's gonna catch the backlog. You see these guys just flowing. Oh, that's interesting. Did I not? Found an error. Found another error. Apparently I didn't set these up right. That would have come back to bite me later. Yeah, so these overflows are supposed to flow in from these other machines. So like now these guys are moving because they're going up onto this overflow belt. So they're coming in and then they're immediately going out and getting onto this overflow belt. And you can see that the overflow over here has already stopped. So, a good thing. But it's still full up down here. Still full up. And I'm wondering if it's because this one's not right. There we go. Now we're moving again. One of the reasons why I run these buildings, I try to run them all the time because you find little errors like that. You build 30 splitters, eventually you're going to have one that you didn't set up right. I'm debating whether I want to move this entire building forward like a couple of steps. I honestly don't know why I ended up putting it so far back into this rock. I think I am going to move it though. Might as well do it now and be happy with it. Basically I want that to be the corner. Yeah, I've got to get my regular production going as well. Not done any modular frames or plates or pipes or really anything. I haven't actually produced anything yet other than ingots. Knock this wall out. This wall. Everything's trying to eat me. Where'd you go, little buddy? There you are. Make sure I didn't leave anything in the rock. I hate eating up part count on stuff that I'm not actually using. I think that's probably a pretty good spot to move this. If I do this right, I can line this up properly. I'm wondering if I want to move it a little bit to the right as well. Actually, I don't think I need to go to the right at all, actually. I think I'm going to leave it where it is, left to right. This all has to come down. All these pillars, oops, have to go. They all got to go. And I could almost guarantee I probably got some stuff hidden under that rock. Alright, so now I get the walls down. The way of Satisfactory: build something and then tear it down and start over again. And that was the reason why I went that far forward, because I had a little bit of grass I was poking through. There was a reason. Probably won't even see it once I put the train station on top of it. While I'm thinking about it, before I go any farther, let's make sure I didn't leave any pillars in here. I got some pillars just hiding out under here. What are those? Those are still new. Maybe not this one. Or that one. Or this one. Alright. So now that I have this correct, let's fix this side as well. I don't really want this flipping into the rock. It's gonna come this way. And actually, I'm gonna bring it around like that, I think. And then put this up on a half foundation just to make it look good. Not that anybody's ever going to see the back end of this. Nobody's ever going to probably go back here, but if they do, they will find that I have completed the entire thing. Alright. If that's coming in there, then this train station really can just go wherever I want it to go. It doesn't really much matter. I put this, why are we raising up here? Alright, I want it in the middle. And I want it one back from this into this line. So by putting it one back, I should be able to align this. The way I want it to be aligned. This here. I guess it didn't really matter on this one. If I take this out, I don't really need this to be so tall anymore. Actually, I do, unfortunately. This doesn't have. Oh. And right now I'm just looking for the right, because I think I'm going to angle this up. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just searching for the right height. This is it, I think. Start there. I want to end. On this one, and that's actually the wrong spot. I must totally just messed this up. It's lined up, right? It's lined up. Okay. Alright, top to top. And then, really it needs to go all the way there. And then bottom to bottom. Just connected to that pillar, right? Alright. I'll put one there. Up here. Delete that one. Delete this. And this. That. And now we're going to go from the top of the bottom to the bottom of the top. Looks right. They should align now. And before I do that, I want to make sure I flip them in the same spot, so right there and right there. That should come out, once I get this done, it should come out right. Should. The one thing about using pillars, we just total pain in the honey. Getting them to align the right way can be an absolute chore. Alright, now we just need to remove this business. Before I did that, I should have probably grabbed this thing and just drag it out a little farther. That one will stay. This one will go. This one will go. Alright, so that should get me where I needed to go. This gets run up to there. These all come off. Send this out to there. Perfect. I think that looks acceptable. A lot of work for just one little miner, but what can you do? I think I'm gonna have to do what I did on the other one on this one as well. I think I'm gonna leave that like that. 1200 megs, man, that's nice. I have 0 megawatts right now. I'm kind of jelly. Not gonna lie, kind of jelly your eight Jennies, man. I've got power envy. I'm so ready to start my actual nuclear build. I haven't even figured out all the math behind it yet. Yeah, I gotta just a different. Well, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I'm doing a different strategy even for myself because I've always played survival, so or vanilla or whatever you want to call it. So even for me, this is kind of like not having powers kind of like weirded me out. Like I don't know. I honestly don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, why don't I have power? Every time I load my world up, I'm like, where's the power? Actually, get rid of this one. And I don't necessarily know if I have a build strategy. I definitely have a build style. Strategy, I'm just kind of building crap, honestly. Yeah, I don't have that problem yet. Once I get the power plants going, then I'll make sure that I have enough power. I'll stay on, once I'm on it, I'll make sure that I stay on grid. But until then, it's free reign. I keep wanting to end on this one instead of this one. It's telling me that I probably messed something up. It's the worst sound in the world too when you hear that wong. Happened to me in my really large fuel build in my other one a couple of times. I had 300 generators? 300 fuel power plants? Something like that. You heard that noise, you just knew you were in for like it's gonna be a bad day. You're gonna be there for hours trying to kickstart that thing back on. Which is why one of the reasons why I do those crazy like electrical setups in all my bigger factories. So that if I have that problem, I can start it up in sections. Alright, so this will be the back wall. We're just going to brace this one up. Like so. I did put a free pot in it. Alright. So that's all good and dandy. Looks better than what I had. Once we cut out some windows here, it'll look better. Open things up a little bit. I hate that it's not 3 and 3. But I could make it 2 and 2. Not going to be level. I think it will be acceptable though. can't do anything about that one. It really needs to be out like one more. But if I do that, I have to redo this entire roof and everything else. So we're gonna leave it. Too far along at this point to turn back. I'll do some different windows there, right? X windows. Why are there 3 here? Now it's even more cockeyed. Before they add fluid dynamics that drag the player with river currents, because that's going to make buildings on the grassland waterfalls treacherous. Yeah, you're not lying, man. I just wish they get the fluids in the pipes right. My last build I built on this waterfall right over here. Which I probably could have. Oh, excuse me. I probably could have tapped this one again. This has got Curtanium on it as well. And I had a big like dam that was going over this waterfall. Which was pretty awesome. Actually one of my favorite buildings of my last save. Might actually steal that Curtanium node. Yeah. It's not a bad spot. I built a dam on this waterfall back here and made it a coal power plant. So like I had the water generators up here in these pools, which apparently is like a bean spawning ground, as you just saw these guys pop in. So there was like a watershed up here, and then it went down the dam. And then it had different like sections of the dam, so you could change the colors of each section independently. And then this was flat, and then it would dammed again coming down.
Picking up multiple fix-it personnel in the area. Proceed with harvest before it's too late.
I built a couple of dams in my day. And they are a damn pain in the ass. Most of them. Now I'm into pillar land. Pillars are my thing now. I've been working on for a few weeks. I've been working on just nothing but pillar buildings, pillar styles, and what the hell is going on over here? Finish this one off a little bit. Alright. I like the pillar style though. I think I've definitely taken a liking to it, let's put it that way. I find it easy to crank out decent looking buildings. Like if this was just a square with some like roof tiles on it, it wouldn't be nearly as interesting. We're gonna add some skylights in here though, I think. I gotta be kinda careful what I do here, because a lot of times these roof pieces aren't. That's it, right? We do it like this. Leave this one in here. And this might be the roof that I just leave straight pillared up like that. I don't know. It might look, actually might look cool. Like this. Don't love that either. I mean, I wish they would add some kind of solar power or some kind of small self-containing or I don't know, self-powered generation like solar panels or wind power, because I've got these like remote things, right? So like I've got this drone port out here and I'm dreading having to power this thing. Like for real power it. It's where I'm grabbing uranium. As you can see, my radiation levels are ticking up here, but the plan was to have this bring in my uranium. But I might have to run a power cable like through the red jungle, like all the way over there, which I'm not really thrilled about. Not thrilled about it. Alright, so need to get this train station connected up. So if this is the entry right here, it goes 312, right? And 1112, so about there is the middle. Got 6 that way. Only 4 that way, so this is the middle, right? This is my spot. If I come in on this one. If I come in on this one, which might be even a better idea. There would be the middle, right? 6 and 4. Actually, right. There's the center. Alright, so if I add, I got 5 this way and 5 that way. This is probably where I'm gonna have to go just because of that terrain right there. I don't think I can. I mean, I could finagle it to go around all that. But I think this one's easier because it actually just will go over. I'll take the path of least resistance. Alright, so 1, 2, and 3. First. We'll go there for now. Double or single rails is always the question I have too. That I struggle with. I got doubles in a lot of places, but then I'll mix in these singles just because it's a little bit easier to route. If there's anything else? Oh, there's some iron over here, right? Iron. Maybe I do want to make this doubles. going that way. Well, I'm not messing with this junction. Alright, so we're gonna bring this out. Oop. 5. And 4. So this is the center. Center is right there. You're gonna go there to there, so that's my totally wrong. Hey Joseph, what's going on, man? Welcome. Hope you're well, man. What's going on with you today? Or this evening, depending on where you're at in the world. I'm gonna want that right hand to go into there. I just have to will this one in there. Just started the game, trying to learn some stuff. Well, any questions you have, man, by all means, feel free to ask. I am approaching 3,000 hours in this game, give or take. I'm actually trying to look it up because I don't actually know what I'm at now. See, I am at 2,440 hours. And I build a lot of... I am in creative mode, so there's that. So if you see me just whipping stuff up, that's why. I got a few cheats or mods or whatever you want to call them that I am running. And it's only because I've gone through survival so many times that honestly I just wanted to be able to build. Yeah, you got to get off those biomass burners for sure, 100%. 100%. So, I mean, my world really consists of these two buildings, these two really big buildings right now. Pretty much all I have, because I just restarted this world. And so, these guys are running copper, or excuse me, iron. All of these guys are running iron, iron, iron. All these are running ingots. If we just kind of drop down here, you can see I got a bunch of stuff running around the belts down here. So all these guys are running. Make these run a little faster for you. Start to move a little bit. So yeah, so all these guys are running iron. Next building over is all copper. So these guys are all producing copper ingots.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Hey, thanks for the follow, Joseph. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, so they, so this is all copper ingots, and then I got some steel production going on over here. So just a small, very small amount of steel going on right now. We're bringing in some of those iron ingots and mixing them for the alternative solid steel ingots. But I have a much bigger playthrough if you want me to jump into it, man. I can show you a world that I did some survival stuff on. Where I have aluminum builds and oil builds, and I actually have a world that has stuff in it. So I can jump into that real quick. I don't think Duke has seen it either, so. Let's see here. This one's got about 700 hours in it, so. See if we can get this thing to load. It might crash. Pretty large save. It takes a little bit. I'll show you my fuel setup. Ah, crashed. Alright, 1 second. One of the reasons why I restarted. Getting a lot of crashes in that. Give me just 1 second here. Yeah, I'll show you kind of where I started my starter base and kind of where I built my stuff out, and because I was playing survival as well. If I can get it to load. 'Tis the question, will it load? Not bio. So super early, you definitely want to start with coal. It's the first one. Well, the first. After you release the first space elevator parts, you'll unlock coal. I think it's in like tier 3 or 4. So once you get that going, that opens up a lot. Once you get that kind of steady power, that helps out a absolute ton, because you're not running around collecting leaves and wasting time killing things and trying to basically worry about power management all the time. And then you kind of graduate, right? So like as you go up through the tiers, you'll kind of graduate from different things. So I'll kind of show you what I did. So I'll go over to where my starter base is, which is way over here in the desert. Yeah, leaves suck. So this is my starter base, and it is ugly. I used it as a breeding ground of ideas as soon as my game decides to load the rest of the world here. So what I did was I built out a small iron factory. That's what this is. And stuff's just kind of thrown together because I was just rushing to get the coal, right? So you get screws, you get your rods, you got all your building materials. They're all coming down these belts and into boxes that are sticking out through the wall, so that, and I'm now used to having clipping on, so that way I can just walk up, grab what I need, go build, come back, grab what I need, so on and so forth. This whole building is just copper. So again, kind of followed the same methodology. So you have, you know, your sheets and your cables and your wire. And they're not getting produced at a fast rate. I mean, there's only 2 constructors making wire. And they fill up really fast. And then this whole building was concrete. So obviously you're gonna need a shit ton of concrete. So this one I actually built out quite a bit more. I built quite a bit of concrete. And so that's kind of where I started, right, was with this crap. And I had all my biomass burners just lined up, like a whole bunch of them out here. Once I got coal unlocked, that was kind of next. So I went over here and did coal down here on the coast. You can see this is a pretty large, gotten larger over time, but really just started with these 3 belts. And a couple of water extractors. And, you know, drop them in here. Because the trick with these is you gotta keep, and I don't even know why this doesn't have power. But doesn't really, it's funny that the water extractors have power, but the power generators don't. Kind of interesting to me. Maybe it just doesn't have power? Not connected maybe? Not getting water for some reason. But the idea is that you want to have this, you got to balance the water. This pipe is full of water. So I don't know why it's not getting any water up there. Probably just a bug. Yeah, that's what it is. Just a floor hole bug. So these like floor holes that these things are in sometimes have bugs. But they don't let the water come through. You gotta sit here and rebuild them, which is a real pisser. But yeah, so once you figure out the whole water situation, you'll figure out that there's a ratio, and I forget what the ratio is, but this needs 50 or 45. You really want to give it 50. And these pipes hold 300, so you do the math, and you can figure out that you're going to need, is it like 6 generators? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and that's the problem. Look. I used a mod, and now my mod's gone. All my little, doodads are gone. But yeah, so built this one out. This is kind of where I started, right? I only started with maybe 3 or 4 of these generators, maybe 5, and just kept building as I needed more power. And as you get Mark II miners, so you know, obviously the Mark IIs can generate more coal. So you can generate more coal to bring down here to make more generators, and it just kind of compounds and gets bigger over time. It is for a time period, right? Because these guys are only gonna generate 75 megawatts. So it's not really a lot. You need a lot of them to make any kind of big power usage. So once I got those, and kind of the next step is to really go into steel. So this is kind of my first steel building. And so it's, again, got all of the basics, right? So you got your beams, your pipes, your cased industrial beams, your motors, and your shaders. So those are the things that are going to kind of come up in steel. And these are all just like were put in here as temporary buildings. They weren't really finalized. And I'll show you kind of the difference, right? Like these are all kind of thrown in here. Yeah, it can, man. So my next thing was, once I got through kind of that next tier, and sent my next packages up to the space elevator, I really needed quartz. So that's really what this building over here was. So this is a final building that was finished and completed. Which is making quartz crystal and silica. I don't even know where all my trains are, but they're running around somewhere. So this was kind of my first final building that I was like, okay, this building's completed, it's done. It looks cool. Happy with it. Here comes my train. So then like the next thing you go into is oil. right? And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna build this big cool train track. You see this crazy like bridge that I built, and it goes all the way around to what's known the Spire Coast, where I started my. I see these little bridge, little tunnel area. Where I started my fuel build out, which this is my fuel PowerPoint. So, Duke, you were talking about power earlier. How's this for power, man? If you're still in, I don't even know if you're still in here, but. And my power just broke. That's awesome. But, yeah, so you need a lot more power over time. So that's what this is. This is my. These all produce 150 megawatts. So one of these produces 2 coal generators. We're just gonna go no power. Let all these guys run. Not sure why. I'll turn it off, but whatever. It's got to be that missing mod. I must have connectors in here that are missing somewhere. But so the way I'm getting this much fuel is I am pumping out oil from over here. So these oil pumps are basically the black ones. I always color code my pipes just so I know what's in them. So all the black pipes, I basically went through the entire biome and grabbed up all of the oil from this biome, which is a project in itself. So once I got all that oil collected, I built what I called kind of the green monster here. So did some crazy lights and stuff on it. But the green monster's purpose in life was to refine that into heavy oil residue. So you're bringing in oil on this side, and you are pumping out heavy oil residue on this side. And lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 5 lines of this running. And then I started doing crazy stuff with power, like, oh, well, I want to be able to shut down this one, line 5. And I can just shut down line 5, and line 5 goes, which is all the way down there somewhere. So once it gets made into heavy oil residue, you'll have a byproduct. So once you get into the bigger tiers, there's byproducts, which are a pain in the ass, to say the least. The byproduct of heavy oil residue, and you can see all my pipes are disconnected because I'm missing a mod, which is why everything is breaking pretty quickly, is polymer resin. So the polymer resin, the byproduct, is getting thrown over into this little crappy building to make some plastic and rubber. So get some water extractors that are downstairs. You go all the way down down the stairwell here. You keep going down somewhere. There we go. It's been a while since I've been in this building. I know I had a stairwell somewhere. Oh, it's right there. Duh. So there's water extractors in the basement down here. And so those make rubber and plastic, and then they're just getting shipped out somewhere. So the resin's coming in across this bridge, and then we're shipping those out, I believe, underneath this bridge. Yeah. So this is where the plastic and rubber actually comes out of. But the main point is to get the fuel, because I need the power, right? So All that heavy oil residue that was made there, you can see the purple pipes coming out. So black ones are going in, purple ones are coming out. They're running into the big pink building here. And the big pink building has got a bunch of blenders in it. So these blenders are making 100 fuel per minute. So each one makes 100 fuel. There's 6 in a line because a Mark II pipe, which are these ones that have the little doodads on them, can hold 600. So you can hold 600 in one of these pipes. So maxing out a pipe, maxing out another pipe, maxing out another pipe, all the way down. Maxing these pipes out. And they're just producing fuel. There's no byproduct. So then all of that stuff are in these orange pipes. And those orange pipes are running into the fuel field down here. You see all these guys coming down. All 6 pipes. And into these fuel generators. No, fuel's not an issue. It just runs forever. Like each one of these eats 12 per minute. So you do 600 divided by 12. You got 50. So each pipe can handle 50. So 50 times 6, 300 generators. Can you give me some of my world? Yeah, right? Wish it was that easy. So that's why you'll see these. I built them in sets of 10. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a set of 10 here. So 10. If you just follow this pipe, you got 20, 30, 40, and 50. So once I nailed that down, it was just a matter of repeating that. So you'll see 10, 20, 30, 40. All the way down here. Which took a while. Not as long as it took me to make all the windows for this building. But it took me a while. 600 hours in this world. Probably spent at least 10 hours building all those windows. Yeah, so that's my fuel setup. And then obviously you need more complex parts as you go along, so trains become pretty important. A little bit. It just takes a long time to load. So here's a steel build again. Unlike the other world, this one's actually producing steel parts. So beams, pipes, etc. So I've kind of upgraded my starter factory that was in the desert. And said, okay, I'm going to start rebuilding all this stuff and get rid of that starter base. And so this is really replacing my steel build that was in the other one with more of a final type building. And then that crazy building's doing more quartz production. Yeah. So you can go on your map. So if you hit M, you can actually create map markers. They're a little buggy right now, at least from my experience with them. They might still be all bugged out. Oh, there we go. I placed them all. I had them hidden. And I had them hidden because they weren't working for me. Looks like they're working now. So you can put map markers down and say, you know, Lego's place. Make it infinite and change the marker and whatever you want. So now that should be on my map somewhere. I can find it. There it is. Lego's place. So this, yeah. Yeah, exactly. The little onboarding thing. So you'll get there. It just takes time, patience, and go slow. There's no rush. That's probably one of the biggest things I can tell you. Take your time. Do the math. And there's a lot of it. But if you do it right, it can be incredibly helpful. So my starter area was over there. This is kind of the remake of my starter, some of my starter area. You got batteries getting built over here for the drones, and the drones are coming and picking up batteries and sending them away. This is kind of my logistics hub, which is kind of barren. I never really kind of finished it, I guess. But that is my logistics hub. This little building is creating reinforced heavy industrial beams. Pretty sure it's heavy industrial beams. Yeah, heavy modular frames. I was really just going for layers on this building. So I was playing around with different designs. And then the jukebox over here, which is what I call this building because it, well, looks like a jukebox or a 60s diner type thing. It's a mod. I can fly because I have a mod. I'm cheating my ass off right now. This is all copper production. So wire, cable, that kind of stuff. They got batteries over here, heavy industrial or heavy modular frames, some copper production, and then I built this big complex over here. This one is producing plastic and rubber. So all of these buildings, or all of these machines, are just producing plastic and rubber, and that's it. There's a lot of them, and there's a lot of stuff getting synced. Which you'll unlock later if you don't have this already. It's just a trash bin, basically. But very handy to keep your machines running at 100%. Which you want. You want them to run all the time, if you can. Because then that your powers, you'll never, I shouldn't say you'll never. If you run them at 100% all the time, and you're running at this 100% efficiency, then your power utilization won't do the up and down thing. Yeah, I would say do a playthrough without them. There's some mods that I recommend, like Daisy Chain mod is one. So you see how my machines are interconnected with each other? Like normally, if I have machines, and I'll just run over here real quick. Like the normal machine, like your normal constructor, right? You're building plates or something, right? You can't connect this, or you can connect these two together, but you can't connect it again. So it's pretty much useless, right? So what you end up doing is having to put a power pole, and another power pole, and another power pole. So you end up with like 1,000 power poles. So what Daisy Chain does is it makes a separate constructor. And you can link all these guys together. So I can always have like one power pole for all of these. So that's a super helpful mod for me that I like to use. Yeah, I mean, there's, like I said, I use Easy Treat, which I can go in there and just say, okay, I want biofuel. Give me 100 biofuel. Bink. And I've got it. So that's really cheating, and I wouldn't recommend doing that until you really understand the game, right? And all the production lines and stuff. So these are all building plastic and rubber. These are building computers over here, I believe. I gotta just sink just stuck out of the wall here because I didn't know what else to do with it. I think these are making computers. Yeah, computers. And if we keep going down the railroad here, you'll run into a little train station that I built. Yeah, it's not really cheating. And you got to use an unlock to get them. So this is my water / criteria mine. So it's just a miner basically and some water. I made a dam on the waterfall. Just has no purpose. Just doesn't actually do any kind of water redirection or anything, but it looks cool. So I built it because it looks cool. That's basically it. And I needed these particular resources. For that, because they are going out over here in the grasslands around this bend. I generally stream, you know, weeknights at 11 o'clock Eastern. So for me, it's almost 2 a.m. Yeah, so that water and criteria mine is getting brought into, this is another water extractor. But all that water, you can see the tanker trucks going there, cars, whatever we call them. They are going into, let's see if I can turn off my fly for a minute. I got two, I actually have two different flies on. So they're all going into this big factory. I don't even know if I actually completed being able to walk around this thing, but this is a big copper factory. You get a kind of sense of scale once you start walking around. But these machines are all producing copper ingots. So this facility is producing about 15,000 copper ingots, I think. If we go down here in some of these lower levels, you'll see this stuff just cranking along here. And I actually will have to turn on fly because otherwise I won't be able to show you everything. So that criterium is getting brought in as well on these train lines. Good question. Because I can. I mean, that's the answer, right? I mean, like, that's really the answer, is just because I could. What do I want? No clip. Yeah, I mean, you'll need quite a bit, right? Like, the more stuff you build, the more it needs. And the more it needs, you know, you're like building computers, you might have 5 things that are in that recipe that require copper to build those things, to make the computers. But I mean, what it really came down to was, if I can find them somewhere in this mess, they should be right here. Yeah, they're right here. So I had 3 nodes, 3 copper nodes that were sitting here. So that's why I was just like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna smelt all those. Or in this case, I'm using an alternate recipe. So each one of these makes 75 per minute, and there is 10 in a line. So you've got 750, 750, 750, 750, 750, 750. Again, I was kind of rebuilding my. Yeah, they're infinite. They'll never run out. They'll just run forever. I was rebuilding all my stuff from my starter base, which is what kind of spurred this particular project. So if you go out of this door, we go over here into this other little building. This is all making copper sheets. So it's making some copper sheets. It's also making high-speed connectors and AI limiters. So I got a couple of different. So these are using copper sheets. So I'm taking the copper from that building, bringing it over here, swapping them into copper sheets, and then adding them into here to make AI limiters. So copper sheets and quick wire, which is Criterium, which is also over there. And then same thing here, right? Taking more of that copper ingot, making wire into cable, cable into here. So these are taking copper sheets, plastic to make circuit boards. And then all of that stuff goes into here, quick wire, cable, and circuit boards to make high-speed connectors, which you need to build supercomputers. So the other thing you're going to run into eventually, a little ways away, and I need to turn my other fly back on because this fly is incredibly slow. No auto saving here. This one takes a minute to autosave. There we go. Oops. Didn't need to mark my own cheat console. Yes. Oh, my alt key. But now, there we go. Yeah, so if we pull up like a manufacturer, one of these guys. Supercomputers. So to build these, you would need 2 computers, AI limiters, high-speed connectors, and plastic. So in that one room, I was building these 2 things. I already have the computer factory that I showed you earlier. And I already have the big plastic factory. So I was already set up to make supercomputers. And you need those because if you want to make... what was it that I needed supercomputers for? I don't remember what I was building them for. I needed them for something. I don't know where I was at in the production chain though. The other thing you'll run into is aluminum. That's probably one of the more complex builds. There we go. So up here in the red forest, which is what this area is called, because it's, well, a red forest. You'll see I'm dragging resources in from all these different areas. Dragging resources in from over there, over here. And they're all going into this particular build. Near the waterfalls. And this is building all of my aluminum. So alkali sheets. And aluminum casings. Now you'll need these things, right? Like if I want to build a Mark IV belt or a Mark V belt, which holds 780 resources, it's going to cost me alkali sheets or aluminum sheets. So obviously I need a strong production of that going on because I'm going to build a lot of belts. So that's what these guys are building. So this is one of the more complicated builds. And I say that a lot of people have problems with aluminum. And the reason why is that it is recursive, meaning that you're going to build this aluminum solution. So you take bauxite and water, pretty easy, build this aluminum solution. You push that solution across into a scrap, right? You need to get this aluminum scrap. But the problem is it produces water. And so you can't drop the water anywhere off. Like you can't drain it or sink it or any of those type of things. So you basically have to find a use for 120 per minute of water. Well, the easiest thing to do is this needs 240. I got half of my water production right here. To kind of get this one going, have it produce the water, and then this water actually runs down, connects with the other one, and it runs right back into my system. So it's running right back into its own machines. I'm literally using its own water production to run the machine. And a lot of people struggle because they don't put pumps and valves in. So these valves are important that you can limit the water flow. Like I'm limiting it here to 160. I'm also limiting it here to 160. Because if it goes more than 160, this machine will back up and production will stop. So you're probably a pretty long way away from that right now, and that probably feels like eons and stuff, but it comes faster than you think it does. Here's some other builds that I have on this map. So some of these are just train stations pulling resources. Some of this stuff is not finished, obviously. But that's partly my own fault. Yeah, I've talked about it, Joseph, with a couple of guys. But this is kind of where you're at right now, right? Like you're creating iron ingots. And notice that my factories are everything is staying in a line. So if you want to stay organized in this game, you gotta get used to like keeping everything in a line. So like my sheet production, it goes in, I know I'm producing 15 iron ingots and I'm going to eat 15 iron ingots. So another mod that I would recommend if you don't have it already is efficiency checker, which is this little doodad, so that I can click on any line and it tells me what my injected input is and what my required output is. So in this case 15, and on this case it's requiring 15. That's perfectly balanced. This one I'm injecting 30 and it's only requiring 15, which is kind of weird. But so I mean, you got to keep everything kind of moving in the same you don't want to be crossing lines all over the place, and if you get into the habit of what everybody calls kind of spaghetti, where you just take a line, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go over here, and it goes like this, and then it goes back down, and it runs across these, you know what I mean? Like, you can get crazy pretty quick. So and that's the part that takes time. Like, the biggest thing I struggle with is how much of something do I need? Like, do I need 5,000 copper ingots at the end of the game? Like, what do I need at the beginning of the game? I should want to know how much to produce at the beginning of the game so that I can make it at the end of the game. And that is a very bad habit to be in. Just focus on the small task. So if you're building space elevator parts, right? I don't even have a space elevator. but if I did, you know, focus on that task, right? Like, okay, I need to build, and I don't even know what it is, but you're probably on these guys. Like, I need to build smart plating, so I need reinforced plates and rotors. Okay, well, like, don't focus on making 1,000 reinforced plates. I mean, you can if you want to. There's no right or wrong way. But really, you only need 2 and 2, and you'll make 2. And then it's just a time game of how long do I have to wait for me to make 500 plates, right? Well, if I'm making 2 per minute, I need 500. It's going to take me 250 minutes to make all 500. Which seems like a long time if you're sitting there waiting for it. But what ends up happening, and I'll use my steel as an example, right? Like, these boxes are all completely full, right? I'm not using them for anything because I'm already done with that part of my world. But, like, I just made enough machines to cover the nodes that I was on. So in this area, I've got 3 or 4, there's 3 or 4 coal nodes up here. 1, 2, and 3. So I made enough to produce the steel from those 3 coal nodes. That's it. And then I was like, well, okay, I need to make all these different items, so that's really where these things go. These make the ingots down here, and then the ingots come up. And, you know, half of them are going into beam production, which are these guys. And half are going into production here. And so these pipes go into here. And then I needed these pipes for something else. So out of the box they came. Half of the box goes down to go into storage where I can use them. And half the box is going up into, well, it's going up a long way apparently. Up to here. Getting mixed with some wire. Alright, and it's making stators, which you need for other things, right? Like, so I've got, what, 3 of those machines going? And I could probably add a couple more if I wanted to, but I don't really need to. And so I found a copper node over here, so that's what all this is. These are making copper ingots down here. And it's just because I found a copper node. I think it's actually underneath here somewhere. You can follow it all the way back, right? And there's the node. So I had a copper node right here, so it just made sense that I would, instead of bringing my copper from all the way over there, just make more right here. So it's just about kind of thinking things through. And same thing for this concrete. Like, I need concrete to make cased industrial beams. That's what these guys are making. But again, I'm making so many that I don't, it might feel like I'm struggling to make them enough, but I literally only have one machine making them. And the box is full. Yeah, feel free, Joseph. I appreciate you swinging in, man. No, don't be sorry, man. Enjoy, and I'm about to do the same. It's 2:30 my time. I gotta get into bed, man. Myself, but I'm glad I could help you out, man. And I appreciate the follow, man. So I guess that's gonna close it down for me as well. I am gonna call it a night on that regard. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that, Joseph. I'm glad you like him, man. My new world's a lot more. I'm kind of building everything custom from the beginning, rather than going through the survival path. So, just a little bit different. Different world. All good, man. I appreciate that. If you need anything, Joseph, I am on a bunch of Discords and stuff, so for me out there, man. And I probably will be on tomorrow night. So if you want to jump in tomorrow night, I should be here. Hope everybody has a good night. See ya.